There we go. Okay, good evening and evening. I'm sorry, afternoon. Welcome to Daytime Stream Service. I'm Ame van Wolfland, and today we are going to at least what's on the Twitter. What I say was to break down stingers that I met on free and open source software. Well, that's pretty much what we are going to do actually. Anyway, let me connect my because I actually still browsing through Reddit just a few moments before I actually starting the stream. Because that's just how it is. Okay, so it should be on. Uh, let's see. Oh, it has. Uh, show any, don't show anymore, don't show anymore, don't show do it. Well, but yes, and then there you go. Okay, so this is the desktop. I'm going to start with the one that I use quite a lot actually, which is the schedule one. I haven't actually made a schedule for next week too, so I think let's also do that for now. I need the mouse. I'm going to pull the mouse from the stream PC into here. Yeah, it's actually two computer setup because I use my ThinkPad for doing pretty much everything actually. And on the other side, I'm not really using the stream PC except for streaming and editing Blender because that guy can actually do Cypress. This one can only do if. So let's start with the schedule actually. The animation for transition in schedule is, oh, why did I open Twitter? I was going to open Blender. Um, gonna let Twitter load up, but I'm going to close it after. Okay. Oh, Blender again. Twitter is starting up. There we go. Better. And here we go. We are in Blender. I think I don't know which one. Let me just open Chrome. No. Oh, it's actually a test, isn't it? So I click theory in here because that's pretty much the theory of it. Uh, so I made the animation for the going up and down on Blender. It's actually just a plane. You can see here, it's just a plane and a camera on top. And this one is actually, there is like a safe area here that I use, but you know, you don't have to use it. It's not really usable. But it's close enough to the one that is on After Effects, except the fact that some part on top of it is actually missing. The 4x3 safe area is not even there, so I don't know. But yeah, it works. So this is the way that I actually use the Blender. So pretty much every time anything in the about motion is actually done on Blender. So this, or even the one that's actually made for Auga is also made on here. Like AUR. I think this one is, yeah, this one is the text. Um, oh, see, this actually you should actually use timeline. So even in like pretty much anything, and the good thing about Blender is they actually have scene system. So it's like using what is it? After Effects would be composition, isn't it? Something like that. But this one actually is the bear, isn't it? Yeah, it's actually the bear. Animation for the bear. And then from Blender, using like this, I will actually use something else, which is Blender, Geno. Oh yeah, Netron. So from there, I actually going to use Netron for making pretty much anything else. So for example, for this one is from Auga, so Auga Arctic, the Arctic Wolf, Half Blood Wolf. I'm not actually sure. Started from Blender, then we are going to Netron, which is this. I think this is it. So as you can see here, it's actually. Oh, I think this is the old one. Yeah, okay, this is the old one. It's actually using everything from Netron, but that one didn't actually work pretty well, so I didn't use it. I think the Noia is actually the one. Okay, yeah, the Noia is the one. I can see like this. Yeah, this is. It's okay. It's pretty difficult for it. It is very. Okay, so as you can see here, there is like a lot of things, right? So let me walk through everything from one by one because it's not sure it's a little bit more interesting. It's not like After Effects after all. It's actually using node system where well everything is pretty much it is what it is. So like this is where everything finalize and merge. So this one is merging everything pretty much. Before like so there is like a tree and an A. This one because the A tree is on top of A. The A will actually come to merge everything in here. And this is the background. I actually making the background first on Blender, sorry, on Inkscape, not Illustrator, Inkscape, and then exporting it, and use it to work with the what Blender already rendered. So like with 0 and with 1 actually Blender movement that I use from the Blender, and then from that it's going to get by sorry, using Merge, I use the grid as a mess for all of them, and then I merge it as one again. So as you can see, there's like a few other things in here. One of them is this. This one is actually the initial movement. And then this one is on reverse. So like this one in here is actually the same as the movement of in here. But I actually put a retime node here, which it actually reverses the timing, and then just doing the same, and then I use all of this to merge into one, and then merge everything again, and then merge everything with the world. Because at this point, I actually want to add a drop shadow on the circle. So after the merge, put drop down in here, sorry, drop shadow in here, and then merge it again. It seems complicated, but when you actually already use it, it's not really that hard to understand. So, perfect loop shift. As you can see in the loop shift, probably. I'm just going to show the open loop shift. So, this is how it actually ordered. Bit 0, 1, 2, and then bit 6 is actually the wolf, I think. And as you can see, the retimer first part of it is actually in here, on the near the end. So, if we try to render it, well, not render, press it. It's going to lag a lot because Nature didn't actually preview like a third or a quarter quality. It actually shows the full quality of it. Although I think I remember I thought actually, I think it's proxy mode. It's actually what makes it. I think, 8 and H will actually make it work smooth. Yeah, not really actually, because it was reading anything from the what is it? The movement didn't actually done here. The movement actually done in the Blender, so they actually just reading everything from there, and it can took some time for it actually to render. So yeah, definitely take some time. From here to 17 to 18. It's actually got some problems in here. The FPS actually dropping a lot. That's actually pretty much why, if I was comparing it with After Effects is a lot more faster just because it has background rendering. But in terms of everything else, in terms of function and things like that, I actually feel like I can use Natural and Blender and pretty much doing it all right. I actually keep up pretty well in here than actually using Apple Motion. Even though Apple Motion actually have quite a lot more freedom in terms of using the curve editor in there. But in Natural, the curve editor is actually kind of stuck. So if I will actually compare between using Natural or After Effects, well, depending on what your use actually, like if you actually need to use like the tool, puppet tool and things like that, that's actually really, really specific to After Effects. And Adobe patented it, of course. So yeah, if you need like that kind of puppet tool and things like that, then you will probably better off using After Effects. But if you are okay with using, multiple applications pretty much, then yeah, Natural and Blender actually work pretty well. So the one that actually I actually use a lot of Blender is in the intro for the daytime stream service. For the daytime stream service intro, I actually use mostly on Blender. As you can see, there's like a lot of things here. Oh, so that's what happened. It's good. Slightly twisted. um. Oh no, I don't think I shall read it. Okay, so you see there's like a weird box here that is actually transparent and a weird thing here that's actually a gap inside here between the coolers. That's actually because that's actually a plane. All of them is actually a plane, but the material is called hold out. Hold out means that it actually becomes transparent in the render, so it's like a black hole, I suppose, in a way or another. And that's how I actually able to use like making it looks disappear. So just like After Effects, if you are in After Effects, it's actually called, I think it's called Silhouette Alpha or Silhouette Loop. I think Silhouette Alpha. And then this one is transition from the start to finish. When the intro ends. Now I actually want to show you the house, the the blender of the house, but I'm not sure if the computer actually able to open it. Let's see. because the application, the thing is, the file is really heavy. So I might have some problem with opening. Oh, here we go. So as you can see, there is like a lot of grass in here, but I don't actually need to fill that. I just need to disable that. So you see there, there's a lot of this is the walls pretty much. I don't actually use a lot on the walls. Halo Sukini-chan, I'm breaking down about the graphics and intro tonight, today. So as you can see right there, there's actually a lot of what is it? Oh my God. A lot of decorations. That's what I was putting. There's a lot of decorations in here that mostly I'm actually using. Don't looking like a 3D texture, but it's actually like a JPEG. So I can actually just put it in Blender, use it as displacement map, and then somehow manage to make it look like this. Oh, as you can see there, it's pretty beautiful, honestly. I actually like the look of it. I think this one is a little bit more gothic style, or oh wait, no, this one is more Celtic style. This one on top is actually the gothic part of it. So like the crisscross pointy thingy, it's actually the one that's actually gothic style of decoration, and then this one is Celtic style decoration. And no, I'm not actually doing any kind of sculpting in here because I use a displacement map. Is it because I'm using my monitor, or do you have echo? Test? No, definitely not. My what is it? My sound card actually tends to give an echo, like for no reason. I think it's have something to do with the what is it? This color on its thing. But yeah, if I got an echo in my voice, you please just tell me. My microphone is a little bit weird, and the sound card actually, not the microphone. Microphone is okay. The sound card is a bit weird. So it shouldn't echo right now. I actually tested it earlier. It's not echoing. So, well, my sound card probably. I should actually buy USB. What is it? USB. What's it? USB microphone. There you go. My brain have some problem processing. Anyway, when I turn on the environment, you can start to see like everything is, yeah. Scrolling it actually a little bit painful because of how heavy it is. And as you can see, the grass is actually coming through the platform here. And that's why on the studio, wait, I have to use time to move on. Which is why on the, oh, I forgot. Which one is, oh, there you go. Which is why on the studio here, as you can see there, it's, I didn't show the platform because it actually, there's a lot of grass in there. It got through. So, from there, you probably already see why a lot of things here is actually quite hidden or shown quite far away just because of that actually. And the thing is also this actually really heavy to render. I actually asked a few of my friends, which is one of them is Tongkat Virtual, and then Roomskin also helps me rendering it because no way I can actually render it in my laptop, at least with good enough time. The thing is, it pretty much works. Oh, I there you go. I want to close. There it is. The Blender keep actually doing some weird stuff. So the final preview will be this. I think took me some time. The videos app takes some time to actually open. Here we go. So the result of the render is looking like this. It took some time. And I think on the OBS it's a little bit laggy in there because I'm, you know, using remote desktop here. I like how smooth the ends actually, because that makes it, when I was using it on intro, it's actually making it look really nice. Which is, if you are watching this since the beginning, you probably see this. So this is the result. I think, can I make it looping? No, I don't think so. Oh yeah, there is a 5 seconds gap in the front because I'm my Eden is, I think, around 5 seconds. That's why it actually took, like, I have put a 5 second delay before it actually start playing. And this is the Eden. Now I'm going to talk about how I make this Eden first, because this one actually also almost the same like the one that I use for transition. So I'm actually using the same movement for transition, but for the Eden. So let me open. I don't know where the Eden is actually. So I'm going to go ahead and see. Theory. I think there is an Eden here. Eden.png. Here we go. This one is a lot more unstructured. Because I haven't actually don't actually know how to put backdrops before the one that I work on Auga. But this one is actually pretty sparse pretty well, so I can actually explain it a little bit. As per usual, it's on the central is on the final merge here, where it's actually going to be written and viewed. This one is the background actually, and then from there, let's start with this one. Both of them is actually for, so this one is actually the first, and then this one is the first. So like this one is start, this one is the end. Okay, wait, you know what? Let me put um a backdrop here, so it's going to be easy to understand. So this one is the beginning, and then this one underneath it is actually the ending. So, but where is the part where it's actually blurred? Wait, let me open the Eden again, because that was actually easier to actually show it on the Eden. So this part is actually blurred, right? And that's where I said where it's actually blurred. So on the start, it's actually showing just one picture. As you can see there, it's the same. It's also blurred in the end. And then this part is the animation, and where it actually got zoomed in. So as you can see there, when it's actually here, in here, there's like a subtle zooming, right? And that's where it's actually happening. So like there's actually a two on this side. This one is actually shouldn't be visible on the the same animation from Blender, but I zoom it up to make it like fill the word screen. And then this one is just the logo actually, nothing more. But it actually take merge from this. Now you see there's like two hit in here. That's because both of them is actually in it, so I can use it as start and then begin, as a start and then as an end. In here actually I actually use like half of it, half of each. So in here is actually the half of it, and this one is also half of it put together in the end here, and the rest is history pretty much. And that's pretty much how it actually works. And then just write it as PNG and put it in Kdenlive, which is you can actually export what is it, WebM in transparent. So I don't have to use FFmpeg like before when I was using Mac and After Effects. I just export it on Kdenlive as Alpha VP9, which is WebM version of Alpha. That's pretty much how it works. Wait, I need to drink. So from there, I actually want to show you a teaser. Well, not really a teaser, I suppose. It's just the project that I already working on. It is actually, it's not supposed to be shown yet, but I think it's okay. I didn't put it on Twitter because it actually contains some secrecy, I suppose. Like this one is for RJ's Eden, and then this one is Junowo. This one is August. Uh, Waiting room and transition. And I think every animation you see here actually made on all the three. So far experience using free and open source software for making this actually quite well. There's pleasant and unpleasant actually. I wouldn't say it's unpleasant because it's I actually make the choice to move from After Effects to Patron and using Blender and everything else. There's actually a choice that I made in there. More or less it's because morally I don't want to pay Adobe, but I don't want to use illegal application myself. Like I didn't use any Windows application anymore just because I don't want to use it. It's like I don't know, I just feel like it's actually wrong to use pirated software in a way or another. I just don't like using it, I guess. And then now I pretty much really enjoy using like free and open source software already. Although there is like a lot of limitation where I probably cannot do puppets. Although if I actually walk around on the store, there's probably like a few ways to do it. Wait, let me check. I do remember there's like animation application actually, which is may or may not going to work because I don't know. Software app is actually a little bit, uh, pardon me, wonky. So it's maybe not there. Shine and show your corazón. Give me a money, money. Zamboza kuda. You could imagine it. Give me no for you. Pero kanayo. I don't see it actually. Kahingman. Oh, that's a game. So there's a few choices actually. There's a Synfix Studio where it actually have bone system, so it can actually use for rigging animation, and Pencil 2D. I was thinking about trying Pencil 2D actually. I haven't actually tested it before, and it looks kind of interesting. I can actually draw in there probably. Synfix Studio seems a little bit more polished though. I think there's also OpenTunes. There you go. Yeah, OpenTunes is also a thing here where it's actually a lot more advanced. I actually probably need to learn how to use OpenTunes actually. It was used by Studio Ghibli too, which is, quite a thing. So in terms of application, there's actually a lot of things that you can use. There's an app called Scribble, which is an app where you can actually use audio and hand drawn animation as explainer video. There's a lot of application that I can use actually. If you want to you make animations, like anime style animations, there's a lot of things that you can use actually in Linux. Yeah, actually, I'm going to install OpenTunes now. See if I can use it. So what time is it? It's half an hour, maybe. Yeah, it's half an hour. Well, it's okay. I'm probably going to finish it right here. After all, it's just a pilot program. I'm probably going to do more actual stuff in the future when I was actually going to work. This one is just pilot program, so hopefully that's actually good enough. So yeah, so that's how I actually make a few of the things that I use to make the stingers now, because I start to move from using closed source pretty much to a fully open source program. There is something called, and I actually started an initiative called Libre. For if you are actually streaming, it's called Libre Streamer Initiative. But if you are on the, what is it? If you are on production, we are making video and things like that, then you are going to use Libre Production Initiative. For now, my own rating is actually Libre on Streamer and Libre Plus on production. Why I said my stream is Libre and not Libre Plus, like my production, because I'm actually using Windows to do stream for a lot of reasons. Most of them is compatibility actually. And I do a lot of editing in Linux and we're using open source. However, if you want to get that kind of certification, it's pretty easy actually. First of all, you have to use open source program. That's all. Well, at least for the Libre one is actually, if you are streaming, probably you already use open source program, which is OBS. OBS is actually open source. And if you are using Firefox, well, there you go, you got it already. But if you are using Chrome, except for Chromium, so if you're running Chromium, you can still get the certification. But if you are using Chrome, you didn't get it. Just because if you are using Firefox, it's open source, Chromium is open source, but Chrome is not. Anything else? Well, mostly if you are using making games, or sorry, if you are playing games, the game is actually kind of not really closed source. It's actually an art. So in a way or another, it didn't actually matter. As long as the production side of it, which is OBS and Firefox, probably what you're going to use, is open source, then well, you get it. And that's pretty much why I actually going to start making training video probably about how to use Natron, Blender, and Garden Life to do some stuff. And also, I was promising a video about a corn, but I was starting at working on it, and I don't actually like it. I'm probably going to write a lot more about it because it's so short. I don't want to make it short. I want to like make it a little bit more explained rather than like a bite size. Maybe I should actually divide it into two or three video or something, but I don't want to do that. So yeah. So I suppose that's going to be how I end the stream for tonight. Sorry, for today. And yeah, that's all. I have nothing more to talk about for now. So yeah. Thank you, Sukine-chan, for coming and accompanying me pretty much almost until the end. And hopefully everyone here understand a little bit about how I work when using like free open source software. Yes, it looks a little bit more wonkier, and actually that's what the emphasis of Adobe is. Everything is super integrated. That everything makes it's make it easy for anyone to actually work on it. However, the problem with that is they are patenting everything, and it starts to get they start to get monopolizing pretty much in terms of usage. That's why I decided to, you know what, I have to. If no one actually try to break it, then it's going to continue going on and on and on. So I decided to just, you know what, let's try it. Let's try just not using Adobe at all, if possible. And well, it's possible. That's the proof. I'm the proof, pretty much. And that's where we stand actually. Okay, let's finish it. My phone battery is almost dead, so we have to close right now. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you, Sukini-chan, for coming. And I will see you again probably tonight at 1. Bye bye. Well then, bye.